a specific design and a call, and God called us together. So really what I'm trying to say is thank you, church. For the past 25 years, you have continued in the vision, you have continued with the call, you have continued with the purpose, and now look where we are today. And I like what Pastor Ingrid said, we're not just here surviving, we're here, we're planted, and we're moving forward. That's the best news. So I wanted to just honor and just say thank you to this church for all that you've done. I mean, I know in my own kind of, my years where I wasn't following the Lord, I know there's people that have been praying for me when I was off. I'm thankful for that. As a PK, man, I'm so grateful that there is people in this church that have stood and have prayed and have believed the best about me even when I wasn't being the best. I know, hard to say. How were you not just a great child all year through your life? Well, there was a moment. There was a time. So first of all, I want to just, as I said, thank you to this church, those that you've made this place your home. You got connected to the vision. You sowed financially to fund the gospel and the message to go forth. Thank you. Secondly, I also like to thank the leaders and all the staff. I mean, if you're on staff here, thank you. I mean, we don't take that for granted. Like, can we just give them a hand as well? Like, yes, they're on staff. But also leaders, those that were involved in, I'm not using the word volunteer, but those that served under the vision, that said, you know what, I see the vision for what the Family of Faith Church was, I'm hooking up to the vision. Some of you have taught here, you taught kids, you taught youth, you taught in life groups, you taught in the seniors' homes. And some of you served in areas that are not always seen, such as the kitchen or the lawnmower duty, right? All of that was supporting the vision, so thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We so appreciate that. How many of you, I had Mr. Hug. Mr. Hug taught me in kids' church. And he's still teaching in kids' church. I had Mrs. Smith also was a teacher that I had in kids' church. And I also had my aunt. And she was one of our favorites because she took us for Slurpees every Sunday. What did we learn? Nothing. But we sure got Slurpees every Sunday. Mr. Hug taught us how to blow up stuff. And that was always a great fun treat as well. And then some of us taught in youth groups. Pastor Marlene, you taught in the seniors' home for years. Right? I also just want to say also a special thank you to board members. Man, you had to make some tough calls and tough decisions in order to do what God has asked this church to do. So board members, we want to thank you and honor you for taking your time and bringing your wisdom into making the church move forward as well. I also had on here, this feels kind of like an Oscar, I just want to thank anyways. But I am sincere in this because I was sitting down last night and I was just kind of thinking about 25 years of life, 25 years of church life. Really, people don't do things more than 5. That's a statistic that you see now. A lot of people don't even hold a job for 5 years. This has been his year for 25 years. That's a long time. But I also put on here, I also want to thank both of my grandparents as well for believing in the vision that God has placed and always having our families back. Thank you for that. There's my Open Over Housing on this side. My Opa Genting is over here as well. And lastly, I want to say a big thank you to Pastor John and Ingrid for obeying the voice of the Lord, for planting this church even when it was not fun, it wasn't easy, and this message that you brought wasn't the norm back then. Thank you for being consistent and taking it and sticking to it. I mean, I don't know anything else. I'm just saying as their son, I don't know another message other than this message, this word, this gospel that we preach, and I'm thankful for that. I don't have a religious garbage that I try to figure out who Jesus is. It was revealed to me at a young age, and I'm so thankful that now I'm standing on this platform not trying to figure out, okay, what is this thing all like? Like, who is this Jesus? It was revealed to me, so I want to say thank you so much for that. And I mean, I know as siblings, we're all blessed by that, but also my kids are blessed by that too.